Going
Right.
live.
We're live.
We're live. Allegedly. Welcome to Real Easy Crypto. Hey, got my friend Daniel from villages.cc and
.io.
Sorry,
That's okay.
villages.io. It used to be that. I know that's Habit.
That's
Also,
okay. It'll still bring you to the same page.
Yeah, humandalas.com.
Right.
Yeah. And definitely Proof of Daniel on Twitter.
Proof of Daniel on
Yeah.
Twitter and Steemit.
And Steemit.
Oh, let me just.
Wow, nice. We got a
Let me share the link out here to my community.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah. So while you're sharing the link out there, I just want to say thank you so much for joining me again. Second production.
My pleasure.
Some fun tech problems. I got to watch Daniel's skill, like going off on it. Really making it happen. So in a moment, I'm going to pass the mic because it comes down to it. There's a lot of things that are hidden happening. This is the bear market. This is the time to throw down large if you have large to throw down at all, or small. This is the time to throw down on coin when prices are low. And at the same time, just going to say, this is the time to take a little time to research, what's going on. And one of the things going on is an experiment called Lightning Network. And that is one of the topics I got in no way really prepared for. I actually know like jack shit about the Lightning Network. I only know how to ask questions about it. To me, a lot of the things going on behind the scenes, I gotta say, I do my best. It all seems like voodoo to predict what's gonna happen next. But we've both been in the market a bit, and I'd say you've seen ahead a bit enough because you position yourself successfully. So therefore, you're qualified to talk on the Lightning Network. All right.
Sure.
Yeah, right on. So, start off, man. What exactly is it?
All right. So, Lightning Network is the scaling solution for Bitcoin and blockchains in general. So, blockchains only have a limited space that they're able to store, and it should be limited. It's really a scarce thing, because it's got to be stored on everyone's computer all around the world. These blockchains. So it's really a scarce thing, and to have every transaction that anybody ever does, whether it be sending an IOU to a friend or buying a cup of coffee, it doesn't need to be permanent record on a blockchain stored on every computer on the entire planet. So that's where Lightning Networks come in. Lightning Network is an off-chain solution that is non-custodial, which means again, it's secure, just like Bitcoin. You're the only person that ever has access to your Bitcoin. It's non-custodial, and it's government resistant, just like Bitcoin. And it's a decentralized system. And it's very cool the way it works. I can give a brief idea of how it works, but
how does it work? What's going on with this?
But like all of these things, it's a very technical solution,
okay.
Of course. But the way it works is, and from what I'm seeing, a lot of people that already run Bitcoin nodes are just starting to install Lightning nodes on their computers as well. So what a Lightning node does is you can keep a certain amount of Bitcoin locked into your node, and that lets you send those Bitcoins, which are created, and bound to that blockchain, Bitcoin's blockchain, or other coins too. You can do Lightning Network. It's already running on Litecoin, I believe. Raiden is Lightning for Ethereum, so that's also how Ethereum is planning to scale. Just
for listeners, how do you spell Raiden?
RAIDAN, I believe. But we'll get to that too, because it's funny that Ethereum and Bitcoin both have the exact same scaling solution, and that people thought that Ethereum would end up scaling in a different way. But we'll get to some of those intricacies a little bit further.
Yeah.
So, but as far as how Lightning Network works, it's kind of, so you're creating a network of peers, and they don't have to be trusted, but you're creating a network of peers, and you're able to route They're kind of like IOUs between all the different nodes.
All right.
But they're not really IOUs because they're all backed not by an asset that is locked up and in some private company's stash. They're backed by non-custodial real Bitcoins. So you're sending just these messages back and forth through the around this decentralized network. But until you need to get out of this web, you don't need to use the blockchain to do it. But every transaction is backed and bound by a real Bitcoin that you have full custody over always. Very interesting. It's kind of complex.
Now, do you have a wallet that runs that?
Yeah. You've
got one.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I run Eclair wallet on my phone.
Okay.
And this is a Lightning Network wallet. It's not a Lightning node in that it just uses whatever the company is. I don't remember the name. There's a bunch of companies creating different versions of Lightning Network, all of which are compatible, of course, and use the same underlying protocols.
Right.
But they're doing it in slightly different ways and seeing what works best. My wallet is not a node. It uses the node of the company, and they manage all the trust lines for me. So it looks just like any other wallet, Bitcoin wallet that you might have ever used on your phone.
So all you have to do is start saying trust lines and root and path and nodes, certainly, and like then there would be like lightning nodes, and now you just have people's eyes start to glaze over.
I'm sure
that's going to happen, but this is the deal. This is an experiment. I tried to research this best as I could. I tried to watch what Andreas Antonopoulos would speak of Lightning Network at, which I found was considerably even more dense and advanced than what you were just giving. So for him, he kind of unpacks each little piece of it. So like I didn't get all the way through the treasure hunt and the Easter egg hunt.
Next week is Schnorr signatures. So
yes.
Watch. Maybe not on the beginner show.
And then atomic swaps. So either way, this is the point. It's like the point is to see what's going to happen. And when we were talking off the air and during all the tech difficulties about what's going on, there is a ton of altcoins and speculations, and there's certainly been a ton of actual money and multiplication of one's holdings in altcoins recently.
Oh yeah,
that's what's been going on. But in the end of it all, I guess I was hearing your opinion with it. You think that people in this world, they gravitate toward having one currency, and that's what's going to likely happen, and that one's going to be Bitcoin. Well, that's your opinion?
Well, I wouldn't.
There you go.
Sure.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say one currency, but
okay.
I would say one cryptocurrency.
Okay, one cryptocurrency.
Yeah. So there's thousands of assets. Whether it's property or titles or fine art or an IOU to a friend or any kind of promise or contract. I mean, everything is going to be tokenized. Everything is going to go on blockchain. That's not a question.
Yeah.
But how much room we have for cryptocurrencies, for many different cryptocurrencies that are just incentivizing and securing a blockchain, and that's their job, or whether it be gas or staking or whatever it is, if that's the only role is securing a blockchain, I don't think there's room for. I mean, even a few. We're the first killer app that we're working towards and that we haven't even achieved yet is a currency, right? You were saying currency, cryptocurrency. We don't even have any cryptocurrencies yet.
Oh, these are all in beta, right?
Well, we got crypto assets, crypto commodities.
Commodities, okay.
Right?
So what's the difference between a crypto commodity, which allegedly that's what's going on, and a cryptocurrency?
So like I said, I don't think we have any currencies yet in the crypto space. Maybe Tether, right, is kind of stable. But I think we need a stable coin for any of these to be considered currencies.
Okay. So if it's not stable in like USD value, is that what you mean?
Just in the real world, the ability to trade one day to the next. You know, I'll give you one Bitcoin for your car, and you know that Bitcoin, all of a sudden next week it's like I got to give you 2 Bitcoin for it. That's not a very functional currency. Someday, I definitely believe that Bitcoin will be a very, very functional currency, and I think there's a lot of room in the space for stable coins and you know, local, you know, community credit. I think is a very stable option. Tokens that are backed by different aspects, different things that we value in our world. But as far as a crypto coin that just has value being not backed by anything outside of that coin, I think that's a very, very difficult thing. And it's still a very early experiment. I mean, and all the regulars, they don't even know what these things, what's called these things.
It's early adoption.
Right?
It's like
a super early thing.
At this point, here, I'll say, at this point, it's like, what happens is the Ricola, you know, porn guys out there is like, Bitcoin, and you know, people are like, oh, Bitcoin, what's a Bitcoin? But they're hearing it, they're hearing the word, and they're like, oh no, child porn, and you know, and all these other things are going on. Okay, so they're hearing the fear, uncertainty, and doubt, the FUD articles, the FUD videos, they're hitting them hard with that kind of thing. They're getting knocked over the head with it. But one thing's for sure, it's coming onto the radar, and yet still early adoption time. Lightning Network is an experiment. It is being touched upon. You're touching upon it. Other people are. I don't have a Lightning-enabled wallet yet. But now I wrote one down because you gave me it. You know, maybe I'll have one before you leave. You know, but that happens sometimes. I end up getting wallets every time you show up. You know, just saying that basically. But here's a question in terms of value add, privacy. And how does Lightning affect that? Man.
Well, Lightning, allows for confidential transactions. That's something we've never had in Bitcoin before.
Right. No, not unless you hide the Bitcoin through
a Tor and
cloud.
Maybe trade it into something like Monero and then trade it back.
Yep.
Or putting it through a mixer. But even those have a degree of everything that is on chain is permanent. And if you tamper your identity, one of your public keys is made public, or even just a small amount of your Bitcoin goes to a centralized exchange, or one address is revealed, that can reveal your entire stash to these analytic companies, these people that are really focused on figuring this stuff out. Because everything that's on chain is public. But as soon as we take things off chain, I mean, you can do anything right now. Most Bitcoin transactions happen off chain. So I should be clear about that already. Majority of Bitcoin transactions are not on chain already. Yeah, but they're done on private servers that have custody of your money, like Coinbase, private exchanges, for example. What Lightning Network does is it takes that situation where they had to have custody before to do instant trades, things like that. And now they have full custody. So if an exchange is continuing to have full custody over your Bitcoin after Lightning Network is enabled, I would seriously consider moving to a different exchange that doesn't have full custody. And that's really what Lightning Network is going to do. And exchanges are going back and forth. You can send Bitcoins between the exchanges at lightning speed, instantly, confidential. Oh, if you're an exchange, it's probably not.
Can you name some Lightning-enabled exchanges? There.
I don't know if there are any Lightning-enabled exchanges yet.
Too soon.
That's right. This is brand new technology. But I should say that Blockstream right now is doing, I think, 7 days of lapse. That is what they're calling. These are Lightning applications that run on Lightning Network. So
can you describe that? What do you mean?
Sure. Yeah. So with Ethereum, lots of people might be aware that the goal of Ethereum really is to create an ecosystem for apps, not just tokens, right, which is like the first app of blockchain, but full apps. In computer science, a transaction is not just a payment. In computer science, a transaction, on a server is a like, is a comment, is a share. These are all transactions. And eventually all of these will be done. This is the belief of I think a lot of us in this space, is that most online transactions will be done not with
a blockchain,
a private company in the future,
right,
but with a public blockchain. But as of now, blockchains cannot scale to store every like, right, and every comment. And you don't want every like to be on this global computer that's distributed everywhere. But with Lightning Network, it doesn't have to be a permanent history. Once you clear your debts, you can erase that totally from your service. And people are running Lightning Network all over, and you can even earn fees, earn some fees as people use, route through your network, supplying liquidity for the network. You can earn transaction fees. And I should say transaction fees on Bitcoin right now are less than a penny. You can send tens of thousands of dollars on Bitcoin right now and pay literally less than a penny, and it'll go through within 10 minutes. That's
the idea.
That's amazing. You can do that on chain with Bitcoin right now. For a little while, it was, we had that crazy flood where transaction fees actually went up in some cases to over $20. People had to pay just to get it through.
I remember saying during the peak of that, here, I'll speak on that.
Yeah.
Some folks, such as Roger Ver, for example, they were speaking at length about how Bitcoin is dead because of that, because everything's bogged down, it's slow, it's expensive, and that people in the Bitcoin core development world were essentially celebrating this and working to encourage and create more of that. And those were the claims I heard. There was a lot of claims. And I think it's a great time to open up to get your what's your perspective on that I just shared with you. Yeah.
So, from in my head and from what in my perspective, Bitcoin is a protocol, or that's the goal anyway, is to create a protocol for money. A protocol is something that everybody uses. That the more network effect it has, the more it gains value. The more people are working on it, the more people are using it, the more it gains value. We all work together on a protocol together. Like, it's just magic. It's like the internet. There's one internet. We don't need, if there were multiple internets, it wouldn't work, right? If everybody had their own internet, I like AOL.
My email goes to your email, but I don't have to convert to, say, Daniel mail.
Right. Yeah. You know what? Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. We all got email. Email addresses is a great example of how a network could scale. We're not all stuck on AOL. When we were, you could only message people that were on AOL, and you had to join to communicate, right? If you got your internet through a university, or if you were on the real internet at that time, which was much smaller than AOL, actually.
The ARPANET.
Yeah. You could email anyone. That was a very interesting time. We had CompuServe, Prodigy, AOL. They're all kind of competing, but then there's the internet that they all kind of built off of, and ultimately they all kind of disappeared. AOL is like a video hosting company, so maybe Monero will become like a video hosting company.
Yeah, it's like if I change the camera angle and go like that, there you can understand why is he mentioning Monero? Why does he keep saying Monero and looking at Darryl?
Right. Yeah, Monero, man.
Yeah. No, I'm just wearing this shirt because
it's a cool shirt. I would sport it too, even though
that was an awesome present from Perfect Daughter. But
one more Roger Ver block scaling. I just want to
to touch on that. So there's an entire episode of the School Sucks project that's a podcast that's going into education and the difference between schooling and education, and very much into what real self-education and self-mastery is about. And one of the topics, of course, is cryptocurrency. That occasionally gets touched upon, kind of rarely. And in this case, since the host of the show, Brett Veinotte, is friends with Roger Ver and they see each other a bunch at at PorcFest. Actually, I think that was like where Fred got turned on to all of this. He brought Roger on to give his side of the story, and it was very much about what happened with Roger Ver in his consistent attempts to communicate his opinion on how things should go with Bitcoin, with scaling, with the network, with the development, with everything. And he had some series of disagreements with some people that he never named in the whole show. So I never really got to get an idea. But anyway, the sum of it was that this was during the Bitcoin transactions, $20, slowness of the network. This was times where I was really fretting as I was trying to move coins from one place to another. But eventually it happened. And yes, indeed, it was expensive to move during that time frame. And then there was a promotion he has, of course, for Bitcoin Cash, as like now to navigate to the true Bitcoin called Bitcoin Cash, which, according to Roger Ver, has a lot of excellent features that are the real Bitcoin, according to Satoshi Nakamoto. So this is the claims that you can care to address any of all of this kind of stuff.
So yeah, you see me, I cringe when I think about Roger Ver and this whole thing, because anybody can fork Bitcoin. It's fine. So we're trying to create a protocol, and if you want to create another AOL, you go right ahead. No one's stopping you. My biggest issue, I tend to call Bitcoin Cash a scam, not because it's a fork. Anybody can fork Bitcoin. That doesn't mean it's a scam. I think it's a scam because they are trying to put a false impression of the name. They're trying to promote Bitcoin Cash. Oh, okay. Oh, it's the wallet. They, right? So the issue I have is Bitcoin.com.
There we go.
Yeah, Roger Ver owns Bitcoin.com, and he primarily promotes Bitcoin Cash, which most newbies just assume that's Bitcoin. I mean, I would. I mean, it's like, oh, you got PayPal or PayPal Cash, right? It's like, yeah, that's PayPal, right? But we don't own the brand. That's the issue. Nobody owns Bitcoin trademark, and it can't be defended very well. So, this is brand theft. This guy is taking our brand and promoting his scheme, and he's got Bitcoin.com, and it's really concerning and upsetting.
What about the wallet?
And he just announced that they are not supporting Bitcoin by default in the Bitcoin.com wallet, only Bitcoin Cash. So that sounds like
a newbie is like, I'm going to get some Bitcoin. Where do I put my Bitcoin? I'm going to go to Bitcoin.com. Yeah. They get a Bitcoin.com wallet. They open their Bitcoin.com wallet, and this is in the near future, allegedly.
Right now, even.
Right now, apparently? Okay. So apparently, you can test this out, you the viewers. Go to Bitcoin.com, open up a new wallet, because, I mean, if you're watching this, you're not a newbie to cryptocurrencies, but if you're watching this,
don't open a Bitcoin.com wallet.
Yeah, like just for the hell of it, just to see what happens, because it's going to install a virus. But anyway, allegedly it opens up to default to a BCH or a Bitcoin Cash wallet, bitch please, and that's interesting because if you just happen to not be aware. I mean, there's this is the buyer beware function. That's it goes back to
buyer beware.
Yeah, caveat emptor is the way that Romans allegedly said it, which means just that the buyer must beware of what you're buying. You go out there and you buy coin, you assume 100% risk. And by the way, that goes for Real Easy Crypto. You out there assume 100% risk for all of your own.
Daryl's not liable.
I assume actions for mine. If you take what my advice is and do stuff with it, you take 100% responsibility for that. Same thing, right? Proof of Daniel, you can go right there on Twitter. And if you just happen to do everything that Daniel's saying and then mess up, then he's not liable.
I'm not a financial advisor.
Right. But people are out there going like that. This is all 100% responsibility on the person who goes to Bitcoin.com thinking that they have the right thing. And good luck trying to do a lawsuit, by the way, because that ain't going to work. These are very wealthy people.
So there is talk of that, as far as
I'm sure
selling a fraudulent item.
There's always talk about proof in advertising. There's always going to be talk of that. So this is the question I'm passing to you. Like the one that I like so fervently prepared on my notebook here. My question is, like, the people out there listening to this, watching this, what would they really be wanting to know? What would they need to know about Lightning Network and the upcoming this market now for Bitcoin and what's coming in the next year, the next couple of years? You know, your opinion.
Okay, what you need to know about Lightning Network is not the technical details of it and how it works. What you need to know is that it's happening and that Bitcoin is scaling. And the way Lightning Network works is the bigger the network gets, the cheaper transactions get, the faster the network gets, the more scalable and reliable the network is. So, and this thing is probably going to wipe out most of the altcoins that don't have, if they don't have a real like technical need, if a token does not have, is not backed by a real asset, is not bound by a legitimate smart contract, or not backed by some real asset, you know, that people value, whether it be a utility. There's a lot of utility tokens that may actually have value.
Decentralized storage, if it can be done, if it can be shown to be provable, you know,
if it can be done with Bitcoin, it's going to be.
Okay.
So if a token doesn't have, it's just like a gas token. You know, you need it to run the utility, and that's it. It's not viable. This is my perspective. You know, I could be wrong, right? But if you ask me, that's not viable because we got Lightning networks now. Bitcoin's going to replace it, just like that. I mean, you know, and they can just fork your code too, probably. Just replace your token that nobody uses with Bitcoin, the one that everybody uses. There is plenty of room for crypto assets. Like I was talking about Decentraland, I think is very interesting, where people purchase scarce land or real estate in a virtual reality world, and you can build whatever you want on your real estate. You can rent it out. I think there's a lot of room for game assets. I think everything is going to go on a blockchain eventually. Property titles, cars, you know, all that stuff. You know, all the derivatives that you can dream up in Wall Street, they're all going to be on the blockchain.
Hey, what do you think the market's going to do this year? And
this year?
Give me some predictions, please.
Oh my. Okay, let's see if I get this right. What's the date?
23rd March 2018.
Okay, I think we have Bitcoin has the potential. You know, everyone's like $100,000, right? And I honestly think that's reasonable. That's a reasonable estimate.
$100,000 Bitcoin.
Yeah, I mean, that's like, in my head, it's like eyes wide, right? Honestly, it's not that far out. My more like conservative, let's keep it cool, thing would be like 50,000 at the end of this year. As far as other crypto assets, I think most of them might not be the end of this year. It might be the year after, the year after that. But I think most of them are going to be pretty much nascent, non-existent. People will stop running them.
End of the year?
I would say that might be end of next year.
2020.
Yeah, maybe 2020. I think most of the other ones are going to be, you're just not going to hear of them. There will probably be a few that hold some really unique need for a token.
Name them.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, I use Steam. I'm on
that's
Steam
the one. It's $2 now.
Yeah, it's pretty low price. It might be a good time. I don't know.
Yeah.
My truth is, I have deep concerns about proof of stake in general.
Okay.
And that the financial model of Steemit might not succeed. I don't know, right? But in the meantime, I'm posting on there. I'm earning Steam. This is going on Steam. I like Steemit. I think it's such a cool idea.
Yeah.
You know, and if it doesn't work, there'll be something new that is better. But you know, we got to move away from Facebook. We got to move away from decentralized data silos. I think Steem is such a cool idea and has a lot of potential. Other tokens that I think have this kind of potential that are unique tokens that if they don't exist, you know, you can't do something. That's what I'm looking for. It's like if there's no token, like you can't achieve something. I think there's some room for Oracle tokens.
What does an Oracle token do? What's the unique selling point?
So that's kind of a staking token that basically, if you don't answer questions correctly according to global consensus in the news, this is an attempt to bring real world news and events onto a blockchain in a secure way, right? So, for example, Rep Augur, and I don't want to hype Augur because I don't follow their closely, but that's one of the first tokens. The Rep token is supposed to be an Oracle token to incentivize people to be truthful in reporting real world events and putting them onto a blockchain. So that would be like if you report incorrectly, then you lose some of your tokens. If you report correctly, then you earn some of your tokens.
Wow,
that's an interesting idea. There's some other ones that are like that. They're all experiments, right? It's I don't know. You know, does that actually have any value? The token I don't know, right?
Well, you know, or basically, no one really knows right now all of this stuff. That's why I'm going in strictly as an investor. That's what Real Easy Crypto is pretty much all about. Just like get the hell in, make some returns, and do what you want. And then you can go ahead and you can choose to say, you can go down the route of some alleged Bitcoin maximalists, for example. You can choose to go that route saying, I believe in the project Bitcoin, that it's lasted 9 years since January 3rd, 2009, and pretty much since it's going very strong still, you know, it's likely to go high. It's on sale right now. Still on sale. It's literally on sale, meaning I know people who are ready to sell, you know, like it is extremely on sale. And then just in general, you know, I think we covered all the major topics I wanted to. Like it's really been heavily educational for the folks who are just touching in, because a bunch of my clients and folks who watch me and like who look for me for information, they're just way nascent. Like they just have no real deeper understanding. They can get fooled by things like Bitcoin.com and think that's a good place to set up a wallet, except for they generally know not to set up strange wallets.
That's good. Good job, Daryl.
Because no, pretty much they only set up wallets that I'm personally
show off my new one.
Show off that awesome wallet. That's the Trezor. It's
I like it.
Yeah, can display.
You got more than
If
you got more than a couple $100 worth of crypto, invest $120 and get a real cryptocurrency wallet.
Yeah, that's
first things
first. But you know, if you got lots, definitely put into security. And any final words you want to give to the audience?
It's new space. This is all an experiment. You know, I'll say the first app is money. So until we got a money, like most of the other apps are really waiting to happen. Lightning is making Bitcoin scale. It can do it all. It's all happening. You know, the price may be stagnant, bearish, maybe. But the technology is always moving forward, and it's really magnificent things we're seeing. You know, and you know, seeing the price of less than a penny for the transaction, I'm like, Bitcoin, it doesn't need the Lightning Network probably for another year, you know, but it's already doing it. And those high fees, it kind of forced us to scale faster, and you know, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty amazing to watch.
Right on. Hey, it's been a real awesome pleasure. Thanks so much. Out there, crypto is out there. Get some. Thanks, guys.
Aloha.
Aloha.